Grrrr. Greetings, humans, greetings, and welcome back to another fun-filled episode. Bear here, 29-year veteran of the woods, and today, oh boy, I tell you what, Bear got it in his news feed today that old Tina Turner is running for president. Good news for Tina Turner. Unfortunately, Red Rum DeSantis passed away, so unfortunate news there. Yes, indeed. Wait a minute, hold on. Bear's being handed something here. I apologize. R.I.P. Tina Turner. And, yay, Red Rum, Meatball Ron out there. So, yay, there we go. Yes, indeed. There we go. I apologize, everybody. Bear is here a couple minutes late. Trying to get the dang audio to work. All right, that is working. We are all working. Let me test it here, people. Let me just double check. La. All right, there we are. We are working. We are. Actually, people, we've actually got find it here. Wait a minute, am I on the right thing? Oh, no, of course not. I'm completely on the wrong thing there. There we go. A professional show. Yada. Anyways, we actually have, I'm going to be talking a little bit today about, Bear can get it here, a little bit of cash grab. There we go. We actually have it, people. It is in Bear's claws here. Bear's claws. Plus a little bit of Cecil art there. So we're going to be talking about that for just a little bit here. But let's go ahead and get back while we wait. While we wait to get a couple people in here. I just want to say hi to Jiminy Cricket out there. Wondering when Bear's gonna interview his cousin, R.T. Bear. That would actually be a very good interview. That would be pretty cool. Bear's been wanting to do that for quite a while. So there we go. That would be probably in the top 5 right there. Top 3, maybe. Top 3. 3 people are waiting for Bear to finish printing himself up. No, it was actually, the audio wasn't working for Bear, so he had to make sure that worked. Otherwise, what's the point of doing a video when nobody can hear you? That'd be kind of bad news there. All right, let me actually go back now. What we're going to try and do, for crying out loud, professional show, a little bit of campaign updates here for you good people. Real quick, get a couple people in here, then we'll do a little bit of a review here. From Graham Nolan, be Joe Frankenstein. Part 1, people. Part 1. He's got a shipping update. Good morning, Franken fans. Well, good morning. Actually, it's in the evening, but that's all right. All of the pre-launch sign-up packages have been shipped. Julie is now concentrating on the other tiers. Some folks, those folks, have messaged us about their orders. Wondering about the status. They still have over 1,500 packages to ship, and Julie is averaging about 50 to 75 per day. So you gotta be patient, people. That's gonna take a minute out there. When your package is ready to go, you'll receive, I like this, Bear actually likes this, so we can wait outside for the postman to come up, a tracking number, so you'll know when it's on the way. We're still way ahead of the schedule, as this book wasn't supposed to begin shipping until June. That would be Pride Month. It's come. I did not mean to mention that right before I said it's coming, but there you go. It's June. It is coming, people. Thank you for your supporting of Compass Comics out there. So there you go. A little bit of an update. People have been wondering, where is my Frankenstein? It's coming, people. It's on its way. You gotta be patient out there. Yes, indeed. All right, there is that one. I only had one other one here. Where is it? From the great Von Klaus. If Bear can finally find it. Where am I here? Right about stinking OBS. There we go. From Von Klaus, he has an update from his printer. He's had a little bit of some issues there with his printer, but that's all right. We'll go ahead, figure it out. We'll figure it out here together, people. Yes, indeed. He says, hello, Trenchers. Oh, hello, sir. I've been informed today of a printing flaw on the cover of this book that is currently being solved to ensure the best quality possible. And he says, here's what the printer told me. We apologize for the delay. However, some issues has arisen with the coatings on this order. Our off-site partner China is having an issue with the foil and the spot UV coating adhering properly to the soft touch laminate. We are currently testing new films to resolve the solution, but it's taking some time. Oh boy. We don't have a firm date as to when this order will be able to ship, as it will depend on the film that works best. We're sorry for the delay, but we want to make sure we're sending a premium product. And I tell you what, from Monster MD, that was a great book, so very premium indeed. A solution is in works, and the printer needs more time. I apologize for this. He says the wait on this printer has gone beyond anything I've could have foreseen, and while frustrating, I'm glad they're ensuring the perfect book gets in your hands. Please stay with me while I finish the final product, or please stay with me as I think the final product will be more than made up for it. Thank you again so much for your patience and your support, people. Yes, indeed. But he says, let's not linger on bad news and enjoy some cool things that's coming your way. So let's check that out. He's actually got a nice little picture here. He says, first, Monica is hard at work on Tit Volume Number 2. It's already looking more brutal than ever as terror takes on even more terrorful nightmares. Holy cow. I thought those bad Germans were bad enough. There you go. So some good stuff there. He's from the mysterious Black Reich. Oh my goodness, the Black Reich. I tell you what, people. In 2 days, Psycho Killers makes its a big killer entrance onto comics. Actually, let's see, 2 days. This was the 25th. So tomorrow, people. Let's see, will make its big killer entrance in the comics. And in other news, his anime, I didn't even know he had an animation company called Rare Glory. Is taking on jobs and getting it done. And he's got some trailers for another comic out there. He says, thank you again for your support. As the printer works out some kinks with the cover, I'll update you once they give me a new ship date. That would be Your Fiend. Your Fiend in comics. That's the Vonster out here. So there you go. There you go. Jiminy says, you can't trust those Black Reichs. No, sir. No, you can't. Let's see. Von Klaus would be better off printing that book on his inkjet at home. That printer has more problems than my 1983 dot matrix. Wow. I guess Jiminy is breaking some knowledge here. Bear has no clue about the printer or anything else. So if you've worked with them before and can kind of verify that, that's kind of interesting. That's kind of been an issue with some of the Comicsgate books. Kind of wish some of the folks would kind of come together. I know some of them. Gosh, Bear is doing going against many of the greats out there. Let's see. Uncle Lee's got a show going on. Overlord DVD's got a show going on. I think RT Bear's got a show going on. John Malin had a show going on talking a little bit about the, oh gosh, what did they call that? It was, Fund Your Comic? I think it was called Fund Your Comic or something to that effect out there. They need something where all of the Comicsgate people can kind of come together and kind of find a printer or find a colorist or something like that. So, hopefully that can get resolved there. But there you go. Kind of interesting. I think he is doing it here in the United States. I think it's pretty close to him in Oklahoma. Might have been kind of the Midwest somewhere. So there you go. Kind of some issues out there. But you know what? We will wait. We'll wait for some good stuff out there. All right. Let me see. Hold on one second, people. I am doing this on one stream, and it is or one screen rather. There we go. Fund my comics, says Jimmy. There you go. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. All right, let's see. Let me get out of this. Do the thing with the thing. I need to turn on some lights here for you good people. Do that. Do the thing with the thing. Let me go back here. Talk a little bit about Cecil's book here. So let me get that going. Talk amongst your shelf. Well, Jiminy's just by himself here. Talk amongst the lurkers out there, Jiminy. Talk amongst the lurkers. This going here. Good people. Would be any lights. Would be any camera without any lights there. Of course, we need some action as well. Bear will do all the action that he can here. Thing right here. That's dirty. Do have done this beforehand. Yada, yada, yada. Professional screening. All that good stuff. Oh, it would have helped if I turned it on. That would be helpful. There we go. Here we are. And let's see, are we recording over here? Is that recording? Can't tell. Yes, it is recording. Ah, finally. Bear has finally started to record something. That's good. Alright, people, we actually got just the other day. Here, can find it here. Here we go. Just the other day, pardon me, Jiminy, I'm gonna have to get rid of you here for just a moment. There we go. Just got in the other day. The cash grab. Bear cannot believe it. Cannot believe it. Bear, we should have never gotten this book for crying. It felt bad even taking it from little Timmy out there. Like, I don't know. We've been waiting so long on the book that we're never gonna get, and we finally got it, and now Bear is stealing it, absconding it from little Timmy out there. But there we go. Cash grab. Let's see where to begin with this book. Let's start with the good stuff first. Let's do a very kind of good start here first for cash grab. I really liked all of the drawing and everything inside there from Donald DeLay. He did an excellent job on the book. There was not a page that Bear thought that Donald DeLay took off. He probably put all of his effort into doing the book. Bear hadn't read, let's see, was it Brutus the Badass, and then there was another Donald DeLay book. Bear cannot remember right off the top of his head there, but a couple of those books Bear did not get, so it was kind of his first sort of impression there with Donald DeLay. Knocked it out of the park. Did an excellent job. Thought he... one of the things was a lot of the little details that was in there. Not necessarily the drawing so much, just a lot of the hidden Easter eggs. You would see a lot of the logos from some of the different... they had the All Caps Comics logo. They had... I think some stuff from John Malin in there. A number of other stuff kind of hidden in the background. Some hidden characters in there kind of behind the scenes and everything. Did a really, really good job. Plenty, probably 4 or 5 different either full page or double page spreads in there that just did a really, really amazing job with it. Liked all of the paneling. We're going to get into some of the issues with it, but liked all the paneling with it. Did a really good job. There was some really cool stuff in there. There was a part in there where Cecil goes to a strip club. Surprise, surprise out there. And he's the owner of the strip club is being called by his ex-wife, wondering, why are you charging my credit card out there? So let me see if I can find it here. Hold on, people. See if I can find that. Gotta show some good artwork here. For crying out loud. There we are. This is the other book. This is the art book that he had. I like the art book. I wish more artists would do some, especially fan art out there. I wish that they would do some of the more fan art books that he has out there. So, really good stuff. Really good stuff. This is actually the back cover of it. I thought it was pretty funny though. But let me see if I can find that real quick. But Donald DeLay did an excellent. Here we go. I tell you what, Bear couldn't have picked it better. But yeah, there we go. Kind of some of the paneling that he has there. It goes long. It's kind of almost a full page there, but I like some of that stuff. There's your full page. Oh, I can't show that. Sorry. It's got boobs on it. Of course, it is cash grab here, but he does some really good jobs with. Like here we go. Here's another one here. Let's see. Is there any boobs in here? Only Cecil. The only boob in here is Cecil there, but I liked some of the. Let's see. Can we get that in light? There we go. Kind of a double page spread there. I like how the light kind of comes in. It's showing on the guy that's he's chasing this guy. We'll get into the story in just a minute here, but Cecil is chasing the guy, so the guy is lit up there. I don't know if we can see that very well, but there's Cecil there being chased. So there was a couple of these things where the lighting effects in there was really good. They came across that. I think they did that in a little bit later on here. Anyway, some really, really good boobs in here. Any boobs? No, it was the page before, but there you go. There's a nice little bit. I like these parts where we'll get into it in a minute here, but Cecil fancies himself as a superhero, and every time he's saying, "Look at me, I'm a superhero," it's like burning in the background. The city is burning behind him and everything. So very cool. I liked the book. He did a really good job with it. Um, Donald DeLay, and let me see who did the coloring here. Ink spots. Did the coloring in there. Excellent job. I thought all the coloring was great in there. Eric Weathers. Eric Letters too much. Eric Letters too much out there. Speaking of Von Klaus, he was doing a show, I think, with Sweetcast and Eric Weathers, and they were supposed to be. There's that page again. There we go. They were supposed to be doing a interview with the comic book hut. I know a long time, kind of had to be kind of into it there, but the comic book hut, he never showed up, so Von Klaus kind of did his own version of the comic book hut. It was terrific out there, but Eric Weathers, he was going around different, calling people different names, and Eric Weathers was Eric Letters too much, and Bear was kind of held on to that ever since, so thank you. Thank you. Oh, let me get the claw in there. There we go. There's the claw. Thank you so much. Von Klaus have been stealing that ever since. Stealing it ever since there. So, yeah, some great artwork there from Donald Lay. I couldn't say anything bad about the coloring at all. Some excellent coloring in there. Again, with Eric Letters too much. Bear's saying this as a compliment, not a backhanded compliment. Bear didn't notice the any of the lettering. There was maybe one or two very early on where it was a lot of exposition, so the bubbles took up a little bit of space there. But otherwise, it was unremarkable in a good way, where it didn't. None of the lettering got in the way. They had a couple of them where it was. They have a mayor character in there, and he was yelling, and you can kind of. Through his mouth, you're seeing him say, that sort of deal. So I thought that was pretty cool. I thought he did that really well. Lettering, all that sort of stuff. We'll get into the story. So the story is, when Bear finished the book here, the first thing that popped into Bear's mind, mainly because he knew he was going to be doing a review here, was like, okay, it reminded Bear a lot of the Blues Brothers movie. Let me see if I have that here. Let me see if we've got the. There we go. The Blues Brothers movie. So Dan Aykroyd, Jim Belushi, R.I.P. out there, doing that Tina Turner. Kind of thought of that. So it was a lot of Cecil's character. He starts off. He's trying to help out this lady get her purse back. Hijinks ensue. He ends up getting a turtle. He's got to find the turtle shell because he bashed the turtle shell. People of New York City are after him. More hijinks ensue. He's getting, he stumbles into an LGBTQ pride parade. They're after them now. He gets into blackface. Now, the BLM folks are after him. He gets into some sort of cocaine bust. The cocaine people are after him out there. So kind of one thing leading to the other. So like in the Blues Brothers movie, it was we had to get the band back together. And of course, they throughout the movie they had half of Illinois kind of after them, chasing them around and everything. Kind of reminded Bear a lot of the Blues Brothers, but unfortunately, a little bit of it was. It was really good as far as the main story goes. Unfortunately, Cecil had probably 5, 6, I don't know, something like that, 7 different characters and side stories along there with it. So a lot of the pacing was a little bit off. So the second thing that Bear was reminded of, a lot of people say Cecil kind of reminds them of Dom DeLuise. Reading the book, it reminded Bear more a little bit of Dan Aykroyd from the Blues Brothers movie. But also, this might be a little bit of inside baseball a little bit. I don't know if many people remember the movie called Nothing But Trouble. Let's see, it was Dan Aykroyd, Chevy Chase, a very young and beautiful Demi Moore. I forgot John Candy. Holy cow, John Candy was in this. The acting debut of Tupac Shakur, believe it or not, was in a movie called Nothing But Trouble. Again, kind of the same sort of hijinks ensue, and you get more and more trouble as they go along with the movie. Chevy Chase, Demi Moore, they kind of go out of town and are stuck in a sort of, I think they go off the Jersey Turnpike and they're stuck in some, redneck backwater area there, and the car breaks down. He goes jaywalking or something like that, so now they're under arrest, and he insults the judge, played by Dan Aykroyd there. Then they're in jail, and hijinks ensue. That it would have made a nice movie, except for they went like totally bonkers with it. Dan Aykroyd, of course, had Blues Brothers. He had let's see, a number of other movies out there as well. Probably had Coneheads right around the time, so they just kind of let Dan Aykroyd just kind of, hey Dan, go ahead, go make your movie or whatever. Here's a whole bunch of movie, go make the movie that you want. Well, unfortunately, he made the movie that he wanted, which was really kind of weird. He had a lot of makeup that not makeup. He was playing different like fat characters. Think like Eddie Murphy, kind of late Eddie Murphy. Where's the one? Hercules. Kind of that sort of deal. He played like 5 different characters there. So they would get like way off into the weeds with some of those characters, and it needed to be a little bit kind of reeled in just a little bit there to kind of make a good story just kind of stick instead of just adding more and more and more items to that. So same thing here with Cash Grab. Really good story. He's trying to get the purse back for the beautiful lady out there. Hijinks ensue. He gets into more and more trouble there. Unfortunately, there is aliens. There's aliens involved. There's superheroes, sort of kind of superheroes. There is a murderous backstory behind it. There is, like you said, some sort of cocaine, a drug bust along in there with it, along with, the mayor trying to make sure that the people finally catch Cecil and get the turtle back together. So there was a whole, and there was like a vestigial twin that Cecil has. So, a lot to pack into, I don't know, 48 pages or something like that. I forget how many. Nice thickness there. Come on. There we go, nice thickness. I forget exactly how many pages. We'll put it down below when Bear figures it out here. But just on, let me make a sort of example here. Maybe he's talked about this. I don't know if they've talked about it or not here. I just want to give an example of the pacing here. So this is the very first page here. Let's see, you can see Cecil. Cecil is in love with boobies, and who isn't? Who isn't really? Anyways, is over there just kind of hanging out, drooling over the girl. You see she gets her purse stolen there. Like, oh my God, my purse! Oh, gotta bring it back. And then she's like, berating Cecil, like, okay, why won't you go and get my purse, And he's like, well, just call the cops, I'm just, a fat schlub just kind of hanging out in the park, just kind of eating my sandwich, just call the cops. There goes the guy, he's running happily away, and then you see Cecil chasing behind him. It's like, well, wait a minute, just in that panel right there, he's like, why should I chase after him? And then all of a sudden he's gone off and well, like, you flip to the third page here. And literally, the first panel is, here's what if you go get my purse, I'll get you some lovin' there, Cecil. So, that panel right there should have been on the first page. So, they should have had that first panel here, on the first page, at the very end, right before he takes off and goes after the guy on his moped or whatever. So, stuff like that, like, Bear sees that, and it's like, okay, oh, there goes the turtle. Don't know if you can see that. There goes the turtle. Whee! He's like, Mario! We're like, no, it's not real life, no! So the turtle's hanging around his neck the whole time. whole time there. He has to go find the turtle shell and all that sort of stuff. So things like that kind of set Bear askew just a little bit there. Some of the pacing there, like you said, there's aliens involved. Why? I don't know. So they would kind of cut back to the aliens and then kind of cut back forth. Bear kind of has a rule of thumb whenever you're writing. If you're trying to do flashbacks, if you're trying to do, this is what happened beforehand or something like that. A lot of times, and this mainly goes for movies, but you probably get away with it with comics here as well. You're reading something and the pace goes along, and you're reading the story and you're getting into it. Every time you do a flashback, unless it is just absolutely necessary for the story and you've got a good way to fit it in there, 9 times out of 10, if you're doing a flashback, it stops the story in its tracks. Like whatever you had, your A story, you had your A story, and you come up to your flashback, it just completely stops everything. So now you got to go back and start, your story anew with the flashback, and then the flashback ends, and then you go back to your A story there. Well, the whole momentum of your story has just kind of been kicked out of whack there. So that would be Bear's kind of only real major complaint about Cash Grab. The pacing issues of it. As they say, as they're famous of saying, the secret to great comedy is timing. Is timing, people. It's timing. So when your pacing is a little bit off in a normal book, most of the time you can maybe get away with it sometimes. When it's something so dependent on timing as comedy is, when your pacing is off, it throws off the book just a little bit there. So Bear's only complaint would be some of the pacing issues. The other thing, you could probably have gotten rid of the alien subplot. You could probably have gotten rid of the vestigial. He has a brother that lives with him under his armpit. Spoiler alert. The vestigial armpit fella, they got a backstory, so that was a flashback. The young lady that you saw in the very first page there, she had a flashback for whatever reason. I don't know why. A number of flashbacks like that just kind of sucked the momentum out of the story there. It should have just been kind of a sort of madcap, just race, to get, the turtle shell, or to, run away from the drug dealers or something like that. Maybe something would have happened. There was an issue there where Cecil was in the strip club, and the ex-wife has the owner call Bellevue on him, the nut house out there. So the nut house people were chasing him, and they kind of went away like halfway through the book. It kind of went from these sorts of insane asylum Bellevue folks, and then went over to the police. So kind of got switched up there. I kind of wish that they would have just stuck with the Bellevue sort of deal. It is kind of the question going through the whole book here. What, not literally here, but is the character Cecil in the book here? Is he nuts? Is he crazy? I mean, even his ex-wife was talking about that. The manager there at the strip club. Hey, Cecil's changed, that sort of deal. So there was kind of that question there, and I think maybe they should have leaned into that a little bit more heavily. Was Cecil? Was he kind of imagining this stuff all along, or was it real? I think that might have worked a little bit better. Unfortunately, they had a number of different characters, and they had to make room for all of the additional characters, flashbacks, and all this other stuff. It just kind of bulked it up where it didn't really need to be bulked up, but I would say everything that he set up, he would pay off. It was just unfortunate that he would do a setup, and then it would do a flashback, and then come back, and then it would do a payoff. So you'd have to kind of wait a little bit there. Beer kind of questioned maybe there was something at the very end of his campaign where he added, I think, like maybe 10 or 15 pages to it. So that could have been part of it. It could have been, okay, we need to add 10 pages. Let me add a flashback right here, or let me do this or that. And that might have just kind of plopped in where the pacing and the editing didn't really need it or allow it there. So, but other than that, Bear says all these negative things there about Cash Grab there. Really, mainly the pacing of it. Other than that, Cecil's first book, number one, a book that we weren't going to get, number two. And it turned out great. The quality of the book was great. You can see the raised lettering right there. I thought the cover was excellent there. He did some great stuff. Halfway through the book, there's the double page spread of the poster of Anna, that Star Wars girl. Didn't have anything to do with the story or anything like that. It was just, okay, here's the poster of Anna, the Star Wars girl. It's like, oh, okay, that's cool and everything, but I didn't really match up with any of the pacing there. But other than that, Cecil, great job on the writing. He did a really good job with all of that. Some of it is dependent. A lot of the sort of scatological humor, sort of gross out humor. Some people might really like it and really get into it. Other people might not. There's a number of by the way, Cecil unfortunately lost a lot of weight because Cecil has an excellent rack. Cecil has an excellent boobs out there for sure. Uh, which kind of gets to the other thing. Fat ass Cecil here, because the book took so long to get here. Cecil of the book isn't the Cecil of today. It's kind of more Chad Cecil out there. So that was kind of an interesting thing there. Just taking quite a while, even though we weren't expecting to get it. Kind of took a little bit of while there, but other than that, he's done a really good job with the book. I thought he did a really good job writing, pacing and editing really needed some work there, but other than that, did a really good job. Did a really good job. Like I said, he had the art book and he also had. Get it here. Bring it down. Come on, there. Oh, of course it's stuck. And I don't know why. Bear actually got two pieces of artwork there. So thank you, Cecil. Thank you. I don't know what the deal is with that, but there you go. Got two pieces. But also got the Dirtworm Dog book. There we go. Dirtworm Dog, a little bit more of kind of the insider baseball Comicsgate sort of stuff. So if you weren't really around with Doug TenNapel and everything, it might. It's good. It's a good kind of kids. I wouldn't read it aloud to any of the kids or anything like that, but it's sort of on the pace of a kid's book out there. So like he's being walked around by Uncle E there and Cecil, being shown the sort of village that they live in. Poor Doug came out of the back end of a dog's butt there, and they're showing him around and everything. But interesting. It was fun. A lot of the sort of kids sort of stuff. So let's see. The fruit flies were all outraged, and they couldn't stand Doug no more. Through sheer smugness and stupidity, Doug had started a civil war. So kind of that poetic rhyme with it there. So a very good book. Pretty funny out there. Unless you're a big Doug TenNapel fan, then you might not be so thrilled about that. But I thought it was fine. There was nothing. Bear was always concerned about the Dirtworm Doug book being very kind of. I would say kind of cruel, maybe. And it's not that. It's more of kind of a gentle, poking fun. Kind of fun between friends or something. Well, maybe not friends, but poking between acquaintances out there. So I thought the Dirtworm Doug was pretty good. Bear will share this. I had never planned on getting Cash Grab. Of course, it was never going to come out, but never planned on coming out with Cash Grab up until Doug decided to go to Indiegogo and try to get Cash Grab banned from Indiegogo. And at that point, it's like, okay, sorry, Doug, I'm getting the book now. I wasn't before, but now I am. So wasn't like thrilled with the Dirtworm Doug book at first. Just hearing about it and everything, especially with a lot of the stuff going on at the time. But I know it turned out to be a good book. I think it was if you enjoy that sort of stuff, and if you kind of want to look back on some of the early CG stuff, a good book, kind of a good sort of time capsule of what was going on at the time. So pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. Oh, and by the way, got to send a shout out to Zaid Comics out here. There you go. Thank you, Phil. Appreciate it. He was doing the fulfillment for Cash Grab. What a challenge! What a challenge! I mean, somebody comes to you and says, "We're gonna fulfill Cash Grab." Be like, "Yeah, right. That book is never coming out." Well, here it is, right here, people. Good old Cash Grab. So a bear would. Well, I need to get the claw there. There we go. There's the claw. My other claw is missing, people. It was a rough day. So there we go. Good thumbs up. There we go. Thumbs up for Cash Grab out there. For Cash Grab. And also the Dirtworm book. That was pretty good. Pretty funny. Kind of a funny book. Cash Grab funny as well. Some good moments in there. Some good setups and payoffs there that he did. A little bit more with the gross humor. I kind of wish maybe a little less of that. But again, you're getting a book with Cecil out there. So kind of is what it is out there. That's neat. All right, well, that is Bear's kind of quick review of Cash Grab out there. Hope everybody enjoyed that. Let's see if there's any comments out here. Let's see. Fund my comics, says Jimmy. I think you already said that, sir. You already said that. But there you go. There you go. Bear has stunned everyone with his brilliance out here. Yes, he has. All right. Let's see. Let me get out of this, and we will get back into more normal stuff. More normal things. Pardon Bear here. I gotta turn off some lights here. Here we go. Otherwise, the battery will go dead. I want to have that. There we go. Stop that. Do that. And the thing with the thing. And then, of course, the thing. Yes, indeed. Well, anyways, Bear wants to... Everybody's still sticking around. Thank you for sticking around. I know there's plenty of other shows out there. But Bear... There's not a Bear show out there. Not a Bear show out there. Yes, indeed. All right, let me get to it here because I actually got some interesting news of the day here. News of the day, of course. I always try and talk about that. And I'm sorry, people. It is so close to Pride Month out here. He hates to bring the bad news here. But he will. This from TechCrunch and Mary Ann Acevedo. He says, she says, we don't know, it's 2023. Daylight, the LGBTQ plus a neobank, calls it quits. Oh, so close to Pride Month too. Daylight, the LGBTQ plus banking platform, is shutting down. Its operations will cease on June 30th, according to Embattled co-founder, CEO Rob Curtis. Why do you have two first names, sir? The announcement comes months after the New York Magazine publishing an explosive feature on the neobank. What the hell is a neobank? The article honed in on Daylight, whose seed and Series A fundraisers TechCrunch had covered. A New York Mag's piece detailed a lawsuit brought on by 3 former employees, as well as an alleged fabrications and inappropriate behavior, oh my goodness, sir, on the part of Curtis. In a blog post published today, Curtis said he feels like now is the right time to exit the market. Right now, right? The LGBTQ plus bank, the day before Pride Month, now's the right time to exit the market. I told the customers, quote, your money is safe, right? and will be fully accessible for transfers through 30th of June. He added Daylight had a great run. No, it didn't. You failed. Paved the way for U.S. LGBTQ plus customers. We opened thousands of trans-inclusive debit accounts. Is there... do you stick in the card into the ATM machine a different way? Supported thousands of prospective LGBTQ parents plans for the I'm not sure if that's how that works out, sir. A positive and a positive there just doesn't. You need the positive and the negative there. It doesn't quite work out that way. Ultimately, though we could provide these services in a way that covered our cost, that's kind of the big deal for a bank. You got to provide services, but you also got to charge for them. This is likely a job for a big bank. There we go. And I hope they pick up the torch and carry forward our legacy. Founded in 2020. Oh, that was a good year to found your bank there. Daylight raised a total of $20 million. In funding. The Demas Group? Some sort of group led its $15 million Series A in 2022. And a couple of other backers as well. Soon after covering the shocking allegations, the company reached out to TechCrunch with a statement from Curtis, who struck back at former employees. If you're being labeled, abusive at work, you probably don't want to say you're striking back at former employees. Essentially, Curtis said the company regretted. I always love this word. Oh, we regret. We totally regret it. I totally regret, diving into that trash can and making a mess everywhere. Yeah, that's regrettable. It is what it is, though. Some former employees felt disappointed that the company would not go beyond the scope of its mission and invest its resources in addressing, here we go, systemic societal issues affecting LGBTQ community. He added, we're equally sad that we cannot meet their personal expectations of a startup culture and continue to wish them best in the future. Yeah, that's corporate speak for kiss off. The former employee's alleged age and wage discrimination, whistleblower retaliation, and fraud. For example, Terrence Knox, who is black, claimed to have made $85,000 less than his white peers. The lawsuit also alleges that Curtis made up a projection that Daylight would process $500 million in transactions by the end of 2023. Better take a drink here. The CEO told TechCrunch that the former employee's claims were fabricated, adding, we disagree wholeheartedly with their negative characterization of our business, and Daylight is fully prepared to address these concerns in court. At the time of its seed raise, the company said its products were designed to promote financial equality. I almost missed that one. And inclusion for the estimated 30 million plus Americans who identify as LGBTQ plus. The startup also plans to build out an LGBTQ plus a business marketplace and platform that offer discounts and rewards when members shop at merchants whose actions support the queer community. That doesn't sound legal at all, but we'll go with it, people. We'll go with it. All right, moving on. Bear is stunning everyone with his brilliance out here. Troy from Screen Rant, the geniuses, the Mensa members at Screen Rant out here, trying to convince us that women can drive starships. It's true, people. Troy was never to blame for Star Trek Generation's Enterprise crash. Yes, it was. That was a hell of an insurance bill, too. Deanna Troy is often unfairly blamed for crashing the USS Enterprise D in Star Trek Generations. But the disastrous landing was never her fault. No! Counselor Deanna Troi has always been scapegoated for crashing the Enterprise. But the truth is, she was never to blame for the crash. No, it was somebody else. She just ran through the red light and somebody else hit her. Troi served as the ship's counselor for the Enterprise D on all 7 seasons of Star Trek TNG, but worked in later seasons to expand her role on the ship, obtaining a promotion to commander after passing the bridge officer's test, yada yada yada. Essentially, they had no idea what to do with Troi. So like, quick, make her a co-captain or something. She sits close enough to the captain. There we go. Let's do it. She wasn't a rank. She didn't get a new rank. It was just she could go on the bridge at night when nobody, I don't know, night? The night shift. I don't know how night would work in space, but the night shift out there. So she'd be there, and if anything bad happened, it would be like, quick, Captain Picard to the bridge, Captain Picard to the bridge. I mean, it would be Troi blasting it out with the Klingons or anything. The new rank includes shifts overseeing the bridge as part of. Oh, he just talked about that, for crying out loud. Which meant she was present on the bridge more often and occasionally piloted the ship as well. When did that happen? I don't recall her ever piloting the bridge. Or the ship, whatever, either one. Unfortunately for Troi, her most memorable time piloting the Enterprise ended in disaster. No, the only time she did it ended in disaster. No, Troi, stay away. You just, you can empathize, you can do your psychic abilities and just kind of tell that, no, I don't want you anywhere near those controls. Towards the end of Star Trek Generations, the ship had to separate the saucer section in order to save the crew from a warp core breach. I hate when that happens. Terrible. This maneuver was they finally got around to like separating the saucer section. It's like, oh god, how are we gonna do this? We did it in like the first episode. Now we got to figure out. Okay, it separates, but the one goes over here and the other one goes over there. And I think they only did it in like 3 or 4 episodes. They could never figure out what to do with like separating the ship. They made a big deal about it, like separating, but that was like in the first season or something. Let's see, this maneuver was successful, but just as Troi took the helm and was about to engage impulse engines, the shockwave from the exploding warp core disabled the saucer and pushed it into the atmosphere. Yeah, it's always the exploding shockwave and not the women drivers out there. Troi was forced to pilot the ship into a crash landing on the planet. It is a starship. You should be able to fly through the atmosphere. Why did she we're gonna die, but I'm gonna save you by crashing? No, you crashed it, Troi. You crashed it. Let's see. Completing the Enterprise D's total destruction since the saucer was irretrievable after the crash. Didn't they retrieve it in the new Picard series? Didn't they have the old Enterprise on the new Picard show? There we go. Picard finale redeems Troi. No, it doesn't. Let's see. While many still I do not unfairly blame. The blame is fair. Fair blame. For Troi for the Enterprise D's destruction in Star Trek. Well, no, it was actually what's his face, Malcolm McDonald. But or was it Malcolm McDonald or was it the Lady Klingon? Was that Michelle Obama at the controls of the Klingon starship that destroyed the engineering section and sent the saucer section into the atmosphere? I think that was an early Michelle Obama. It could have been. The crash was not her fault. Yes, it was. But rather an unfortunate set of circumstances out of anyone's control. Bear tried that before with the insurance company. They don't buy. Oh, it's an unfortunate set of circumstances out of Bear's control. He just plowed through that intersection and I had no idea. Unfortunate. Had the warp core breach that caused the crash not happened prematurely, Troy would have very likely been able to pilot the saucer section out of harm's way. Since she engaged the impulse engines quickly. Did she? Well, she did, then shouldn't they get him out of the way? I mean, it's like, okay, quick, we need to do the impulse engine. Quick, right away, let's do it. Okay, oh, it wasn't fast enough. Well, like, the impulse engines, they, like, can take you from, like, Earth to Mars, like, within 20 seconds. So, I mean, it's like, you know, come on, man, that ain't a good excuse. Amy's here. I gotta stop talking about women drivers here. I apologize. Totally apologize. Continue on. It was without him control and already caught in the planet's atmosphere, which they could fly through. Troy's only option was to land the saucer on the planet with minimum loss of life or injury. Something she achieved impressively under the circumstances. Yes, indeed. It's not hard to see why Troy would be blamed. Yes, it's not hard at all. Instead of celebrating for saving the crew. What? No. She was not a pilot by training, but she grabbed the controls. Rah, let me do this my own way. And crashed the ship out there. However, laying the blame slowly at Troy's feet. We never got to see Troy's feet. Never got to see Troy. That might be another Picard season out there. Doesn't take into account all of these circumstances. Man, oh man, they are really, really trying to pass the buck here on Troy. Not Bear, though. That is the face of crashing the Enterprise. And then they came out with the new one, which was like, didn't really. Like, they needed a new one for the movies, but it was like, why not just do the one with the TV show? I mean, just put it on in the film budget and, have the lights blink on and off, and it'll work. It'll work really good. You didn't need the, what was it, the F? The F, was it the E, the E out there. So, yeah, that one looked, Beer was not a fan of the Enterprise E. It looked too, like, militaristic. I mean, you went from, like, the cruise ship of the stars to, the Bismarck or something like that. It just did not work. Just did not work. I'm sorry. We were in the film, Amy. In the film Star Trek Generations. Unfortunately, Screen Rant is trying to claim that Deanna Troi, Counselor Deanna Troi, didn't crash the Enterprise when she most clearly did. They separated this saucer section out there, the saucer there. The other part of the ship blew up. Well, that wasn't her fault, but crashing, that was definitely her fault. For sure out here. Dana Hansen out there tries to rewrite history. Beer ain't gonna have any bit of it. Ain't gonna have any bit of it. Great to have Melissa here as well. By the way, you both were gone. Bear had the best story the other time. You need to go back and check it out. Not right now, but Bear had this just for Amy and Melissa. The CatVana story. CatVana, pretty interesting. If you know about Carvana, like getting the used cars, this is CatVana for used cats. Can we say used cats? Shelter cats out there. So you had the 2022 Meowsda, the Meowsda out there, Casey. So there you go. There you are. So if you want to check that out, let me see. Hold on one second. Let me do the thing with the thing here. I'm gonna check it out. Let's see, copy, do the copy and paste. There you go. You can check it out on the alternate channel there. It's towards the end there, probably around the 50-minute mark or something like that. You can go check that out. Some good. I was like, this is a perfect story for both Amy and Melissa, and neither of them were here. P-Money was here. He was very thrilled about it. Very, very thrilled about it. He had to kind of deal with P-Money. Yes, indeed. Oh, they just got back from an evening church service. Well, that's probably more important than whatever Bear's doing here. By the way, we're actually just doing, let me get the light out of the way. if you want to go back later. Or, later on, you know where the archive channel is. We were just doing the cash grab. We're just doing cash grab here. So, doing a little bit of kind of a review of cash grab there. Yes, indeed. Some good stuff. Good stuff from Cecil out there. Good stuff. All right, let's see. Did I have one more? I think I had one more, didn't I? Gotta have one more. Although we're getting close. There we go. Here we go, people. Here we go. Do the thing with the thing. Oh, BS. One of these days. Oh, there it is. For crying out loud. Okay, anyways. One of these days, professional show, yada, yada, yada. From my northwest out there, that would be local news. Alleged thief caught suspected of stealing South Seattle mail. It wasn't bear. This one time, it was not bear. I tell you. Amy says so it wasn't just a cash grab after all. Good one. There you go. No, actually, it's a good book. Good book. Long and the short of it, very good artwork, very good coloring. A good book, a good written book by Cecil. It just needed like a little bit more editing. The pacing was just a little bit off, and he had, 2 or 3 too many characters in there. They need to kind of cull a little bit of that back. For example, there's aliens. There is aliens in Cash Grab. So, didn't really need the aliens. I'm sure it was fine and everything, but they didn't really need that. But anyways, there we go. Cash Grab. You can go back and take a look later on at your own desire out there. From Kate Stone, it would be the KIRO News Radio reporter. Federal authorities say they've arrested a man suspected of numerous mail thefts, including one that shut down deliveries to parts of South Seattle 2 weeks ago. The 27-year-old man is suspect in a series of mail vehicle and mail key thefts dating back to December of last year. Authorities say he stole the master keys and used them to open mailboxes across the Seattle area. The Post Office Service halted deliveries in the entire zip code of 98118. That was a good show back in the day. Beverly Hills 98118. No, wait, no, that was a different one. For about a week earlier this month, while investigators worked to track him down and arrest. Let's see. The U.S. Postal Service is now claiming mail delivery will start again on Tuesday for residents of South Seattle. Service was suspended last week, an entire week, people, for the 98118 zip code. Residents told the news radio where a master key mailbox key was stolen. USPS says mail delivery was paused to fewer than 900 residents, and the total zip code covers around 49,000 people. So you could probably say, yes, the check is in the mail, but it might not actually get there. Some South Seattle residents are claiming a significant mail fail is occurring in the United States PS that halted mail delivery due to a recent rise in vandalism and theft. A sign near the nearby U.S. Postal Service office in Columbia City is telling residents at that zip code to pick up their mail in person at an annex post office located blah, 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 blah. Of course, Martin Luther King Jr. Way. Yeah, of course. The zip code covers around 49,000 people. It's unclear. Well, it's 900. Okay, so they've updated it since then. So there we go. There you go, people. It was not Bear this time stealing mail. It was somebody else. Somebody else this time. Yes, indeed. So there we go. There we are, people. There is... Oh, shoot. I did not put this into the description. So, anyways, my Northwest... The geniuses over there at Screen Rant, and of course, TechCrunch out here as well. Couldn't have happened at a worse time. Right before Pride Month. I tell you, people. I tell you. Anywho, let's see, what time are we getting? 9:03. Are they still doing the, well, it's not drawn and quartered anymore. Are they still doing the sort of, a show on Mike Miller's channel? I haven't seen it in quite a while. I don't know if he's still doing that or not, but if Bear does not see many of you over there, Hey, it was great to have everyone here. Let's go through it. Well, you don't have to go too far. Of course, Jimny's been keeping Beer company for the entire time here. All the entire time. And of course, Amy and Melissa as well. We do appreciate you. She says some weeks we missed last week. Okay, all right. I didn't know if it was gone or not. It was gone or not. So Timmy has someone else to blame if their mail goes missing. That's what Beer's gonna stick to. Beer's gonna stick to that one right there. Oh, it was somebody in Seattle that had the mailbox key all along. Yes, indeed. All right. Well, anyways, all of our friends here and lurkers and Russian bots, we appreciate each and every one of you. And Bear always forgets. Let me do it. Where is it? Where did I put it? Crying out loud. There we go. Always check out Bear's alternate channel if you haven't. If you've missed anything here, we've got the alternate channel. There we go. A lot of times what the schedule that we're doing is this show, since it's on a Wednesday, it will be showing on Saturday on the alternate channel. So it is usually the opposite. So Saturday's show will be on Wednesday, Wednesday's show will be on Saturday, yada, yada, yada out there, people. So please do check out the alternate channel, and thank you for checking out the main channel. We do appreciate all of the new people as well. We appreciate each and every one of you. But you know what? All this talk about missing mailbox keys, we'll go with it, has made Bear hungry. So he's going to head back into the woods. So until next time, people, grrrr.